when I got this board for these pieces that the cake's gonna sit on, I just cut an extra piece and drilled a hole in it and glued 2 of them together. And what it does is it makes something that I can actually sit my cake on. My cake actually sits on here. So it makes it really nice and easy for me to work with. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. So I've got the lock nut here. Actually, I don't need the lock nut yet. Let me put I've got a nut, the 5/16 inch nut, the washer, and the lock nut. Okay. And this nut isn't really, you don't have to have it, but it makes it nice and sturdy here. Okay, and then it sits. Then what I need is the cake board, and I want the white side down, because you're not going to see this. And then I have, you know, the plastic dowel that sits on that. Okay? And that way the cake isn't leaning against this. Okay. Otherwise I could have just drilled a little tiny hole. Now they do sell cake stackers. They're about $130 to $100 to $130, and I just didn't have that kind of money. So I figured I could just use, you know, food safe stuff against my cake and just construct my own. My 6-inch cake I have to go grab, and I'll bring it in here, and then I can decorate it and then put the others on. Now, one thing I have to remember is that if I'm going to put any chandelier beading on it, it needs to go on now. So if I'm hanging chandelier beads off my bottom cake, this is going to hang, and then it'll hang off here. I need to put them on now before I put the cake on here. So let me grab my beads. Yeah, I just have these 2. And actually I was just going to do one of them. And this one's on a wire. And I'm actually just going to hang it down from the bottom. I was going to hang them here from the side, and I changed my mind. So if you're going to put beads on, like I said, you've got to do them. Since mine is going to come down here, be hung from down here, I can actually wait to put mine on. But if you're going to hang any drapey beads or anything, now's the time to put them on, okay? I just don't happen to have any. Let me go grab my cake. And this cake has a hole underneath it. It's on a board. And it's just going to go right through that fondant. And hopefully right through the, there we go. Okay, and as you can see, that's the PVC pipe right there, which is good. That's perfect. And we're just going to cut that off. And get that excess fondant off. And then this bolt is going to go down, and it's going to hold the next washer. So I'm going to stop it right there. Notice it fits right in these little PVC pipes, really, these little, the disposable dowels really well. You can use PVC pipe too. Put it on, and then another one goes on. Now, if you want, you can actually put some mounting tape so that your cake actually sticks to this board down here. I just didn't want my cake to, I didn't want it to sit up, so that's why it's not on mounting tape. Okay, let's get this down here all the way. Yay, okay, nice and tight. All right, now the next board, when it goes on, it'll go on like this. And then and I'll continue stacking. And you can see there's a little bit of space, but that's okay. I don't want this board laying on this cake, so that's good. Okay, so what I want to do now is decorate this cake. So what I have is I have these lace pieces, and they're going to go on the cake, like so. Okay. Now, if you want to cover this nasty gap, now's the time to do that. And of course, we are going to do that. We're going to cover that up. So let me, so you can see what's going to go on here. So at this point, let's go ahead and grab our frosting and cover that gap. And this goes underneath, so we don't need that. So let's grab our tips and our frosting. And we're just going to do a basic bead border is all we're going to do around this to cover that. A little bit of royal icing. Bead border.